Starting. Here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Reselling the Real Life episode 2. Unfortunately, Nathan couldn't make it, and Dana was able to fill the void. So we got Dana Bostic here. So,
the OG picker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the people know who you are. But if you don't know, well, you don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
There's not too many videos?
There's a few. There's probably a dozen or a couple dozen or so, all videos and some training videos and a few things like that.
Okay.
Welcome to Wayfair.com. We sell home stuff, your home stuff, anything.
Oh, I hate that. That annoys me.
High end, low end, your style, grandma style, all of it, and it ships for free.
And the one that's running is the one down the page.
Okay. Well,
sneaky guys.
Somehow that was me, and I don't get it. But all right.
I've noticed recently this new trend. When you click to a page, they'll have videos that auto start and run, except it's not the one up in the right corner that's running. You have to scroll down to the pages below the fold. It's the one down there that's running.
Huh.
You guys.
Wow.
Annoying.
We just got back from taking the wife to picking her up from her karate class, and I told her, it's like, I don't want to have to go all the way back home, wait like half an hour, 45 minutes, and come back. And she's like, well, why don't you just go ahead and go to Goodwill? I mean, it's right over there. It's like, really? Come on. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, twist my arm. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Like, yeah, I love the Goodwills. And that's it. You sit on my lap again. You're getting on camera, so everybody say hi. Yeah, I'm sure. Cutie.
He was here a while ago, but he wandered off.
There you go. All right, so the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so we're going to start with some of the bad and the ugly. I did not get to do my all-out shopping trip on Saturday. I was broke. Broke as in I didn't have rent money, and we played the rent game and paid rent when the money wasn't there. No one would most likely have the money in the account by the time it came out. Yeah, that didn't happen. We were literally like that close. It's like, man, I hate to ask for money because I know I'm going to have enough money to cover it from my job's paycheck the very next day.
Yeah.
Because I knew like a week before, it's like, well, we're not going to have rent. We're not going to have rent. I have to haul, pardon my French, I have to haul ass. And I did. It's like I was up late several nights doing listings. And then one night in particular, I was powerhoused, nonstop, hardcore, list. I don't even know how many items I got listed. The next morning, all the items that I listed, not a single one of them sold. But I had a $350 day. It's like, okay, I can get to this or I can get most of this. So we're just going to keep going. So between eBay, between tips from my job, and just everything else that I had to do, I was literally that close. It's like, I hate to go shop on shopping day. Right? I hate to miss it and get those great deals, but I need to have rent. But I also have to go out and buy more items so that I can list, so hopefully I can get rent.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, and I was literally, it's like, okay, we have to pay it on this day, but we also have to have, it was horrible. Yeah, I had to borrow money from my neighbor. It's like, I hate to ask, is there any way I can borrow money? Like, how much do you need? Like, I just need this much, and I'm sorry to say, I only need it for one day. Like, I can pay you back tomorrow. She's like, really? That bad? It's like, yeah, that bad. She's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. So, borrowed the money, and I've already paid her back. And she's like, yeah, that was quick. It's like, yeah, I know. I didn't even have to really get into my bank account because I ended up making the money that I needed in tips that night. Yeah. Like I hate having to work Mondays, but at the same time, that's what bonus of being pizza delivery driver. Tips in hand at the end of the night.
Yeah, but it's called cash flow. And it really does put a binder on your business when you're trying to move it forward. It is challenging and it's frustrating. And, you know, I've been there way too many times as I was starting to build this business and build my Amazon business and my eBay business. And I do some on eBay. I do predominantly Amazon nowadays. And there seems to be, at least my observation is that there's a critical mass in the amount of items you have on Amazon. And once you get past that, then you start getting fairly steady sales. And my sales have been steady for a while now, and I'm up over getting close to 700 items right now. And it keeps going. Every week I send another shipment in. I'm building one right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's until I get to the point. But the problem is that the solution for me was generating other streams of income, like you've done with your delivery and other things like that. So I'm OG stands for old guy. I'm retired and I'm drawing Social Security. So there's one stream of income. I have some from eBay, a nice chunk from Amazon. I do consulting work for property consulting, and I still do the occasional foundation inspection for a company that's out of state. I just got one to go do. And so all those little income streams have finally taken me above the fold and to the point where now I have the cash to source when I need to source, that I don't feel bad about going pulling 50 or $100 out of the bank, because most of our sourcing is cash, you know.
Yep.
There's not that many places that you can do a credit card, which is good, because you can, if you don't have good discipline, you can bury yourself in a credit card really quickly.
Yeah, I understand. I had to file bankruptcy a few years back.
Yeah, I did it too, back in the 90s.
Then I ended up becoming a reseller, and I have one credit card, and I think I have like a $300 charged on it right now.
Yeah, I learned that a long time ago and paid them all off. I got a sort of a windfall, an insurance settlement on something a while back, and I paid off all my cards. And was able to pay off all my cards, buy another car, because that's what happened. They totaled my car. Insurance going to be paid off. And I worked the deal carefully enough so that when I was done, paid off all my cars, bought a new car, and the car payment is less than my credit card payments were in the first place. And my credit is clean, I have a new car, and my payments are lower. Like, yeah, work the hustle, you know?
Yeah.
So I run the cards up a little bit, but not much. I use the Amazon store card, and I have an Amazon Chase Amazon card. Both of them have, one is 5%, one's 3%. So I use that, and then I use that extra money, which I just did recently, to buy stuff on Amazon, because you get those points, you know.
Yeah.
One of them builds credit points, the other one just gives you get money back, you know. And 5% is nice. But I do shop on Amazon a lot. So
I just mainly stick with my PayPal debit card just because I love that 1% cash back.
Yeah.
It's not much, but hey, it still adds up.
Yeah. Most of the stuff that I do with my PayPal debit card doesn't really qualify for much. So I get, you know, I think my last refund, I just saw it on PayPal, $4.13. You know, it's like, wow. You can't even buy a burger for that.
Yeah. All right. So what kind of have you been having any problems with Amazon lately? Because I have had nothing but problem buyers lately.
No, I have just one guy. I did a merchant fulfilled on a VCR DVD combo, a Sony, and I shipped it out because the problem I had with Amazon is their outbound shipping. They trash my big electronics. They've destroyed 2 or 3 VCRs and a printer. So I started doing merchant fulfilled on those now, and I don't allow Amazon to ship my stuff. So I've had merchant fulfilled. Well, this guy got it, and so he messaged me, you know, through the, you know, buyer has a question system that they have, and he says, oh, there, you know, something is broken or loose on the back, it's not working. I said, oh, that's unfortunate. Everything was fully tested and carefully packed, so it must be shipping damage. But then he puts in a return request for a return or refund, not a refund request, a return request. And he is all up on my grill and aggressive and, WTF and, crappy deal and everything. What happened to you? Who pissed in your cornflakes, man? I was nice to you. And I said, send it back, Like, what's up with that? I don't know. Once in a while you get them.
I've had a couple problem buyers with Amazon because a guy bought a printer off of me, or a calculator printer off of me, brand new in the box. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Guy sends me a message saying, hey, this is a used item. I need a new one. I need you to send me a new one, and then I'll send you this used one back. No. I'm not going to send anything. If I had a second one, I would not send another one and then hope that you would send a new one, the old one back, or send me a box full of rocks. It's like, no.
Yeah. Or your old broken one that you're buying this to replace.
Yeah.
The one that you had in the first place.
No, you're going to have to send it back. And I was contacting Amazon. I called Amazon every single time this guy was trying to message me, trying to say, okay, well, if you don't have another one, then blah, 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 send me a partial refund. It's like, my profit margin overall was like $8.
Yeah.
No. It's like, you're going to have to return it to Amazon. Here is the return process. I'm on the phone with them right now and typing what they are telling me to type. Here is everything that you need to do so you can send it back, and they will take care of you. Here it is 2 months later. He still has not returned it and left me a negative. And then I've had a couple other people negative saying this item didn't work. It's like, I know all these items that they have were fully functional when they got them. And I've been having nothing but problems. My account is currently in poor standing with Amazon. Everything that was in used electronic condition, I'm either saying Amazon destroy it or send it back to me. Like, I'm not going to play any games. I'm not going to lose my Amazon selling status. So I'm just pulling and only going to send in brand new items that are 100% guaranteed brand new. Like, let's see here.
Yeah.
I picked this up today.
Yeah.
Frog pet.
I used to have hair like that, except it wasn't green.
Yeah, sad to say, mine was just super long. We've got a Targus Stow and Go keypad. This one's brand new in the box.
Oh, nice. Remote 10 key, yeah.
And this one's just kind of vintage, but it's still kind of cool. The H2 zone for Hexen and Heretic. And I'm sure those of you who are old school like me, you remember playing Hexen and Heretic. And it's like, man, I wish I had this back in the day. This would have been so cool. And then you feel old.
Yeah, I like vintage games and stuff. They're good money. One of the things that has changed a lot in I've been it's over a year now on Amazon. And at first it was kind of like, you just grab everything you can find and clean it up and send it in, and after a while you figure out that it costs, it's just as much effort and time to send in something that makes you $100 profit as to send in something that makes you $5 profit.
Yep.
So I pretty much, in most cases, other than VHS tapes, which sometimes you get those for stupid cheap, and I only buy new wrapped. I don't buy used VHS tapes, and I'm selling those like crazy. I sell them $17, $18, $20, $25 sometimes. So they're worth it because I paid 50 cents for it, or a quarter. And so those are worth it. I send a huge shipment, and I had 50 tapes in that shipment because I ran across a garage sale that had cases and cases of them, and they just kept bringing them out and sitting for me. And I stood there for like an hour and a half scanning tapes. And it was, of course, it was in an area that had 3G phone coverage. So I'm up there scanning like, oh my God, this is taking forever. But it paid off. I've made that load. I think I spent $20 there total at that garage sale. I've already made that back on one tape.
Nice.
And so a lot of them, in my bottom line, I won't price anything below $9.95, and they still sell, even if there's somebody else is selling it for $4, you know. And so I've really kind of shifted, and it was kind of like one of those jokes about where it's not a joke, it's a little twist in the way you think about things. It used to be I'd go out pretty typically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, garage sales, estate sales, things like that is where I source most of my stuff. And I occasionally go to the thrifts, but not too often. Sometimes but I started thinking about it. I started complaining, oh man, I can't find anything. I can't build a ship, but I was out all 3 days this weekend and I got 5 things, you know? But then I stopped to think about it. I kind of looked at it like what's different? What changed? I used to come home with bags full of stuff. I could already carry it in the house. My wife is complaining I can't even get it because she feeds the dog in my office here to keep the two separated so they don't fight about the food. And there's no room to feed Cooper because I got stuff piled up everywhere, bags and boxes and crates and stuff. And now I come home and I've got 5 things. But I look at those 5 things. It's not 10 bags of $5 items. It's 2 bags of $50 items.
Yeah.
You know? And so my sourcing has changed into higher quality and higher value. And I used to have kind of a, nominal. I ain't paying more than $5 for anything. Now I'll pay. I mean, I dropped $190 today. And but I got a complete Wii system with a balance board and every possible controller and 10 games for $120. So
yeah, we went out thrifting twice today because there was earlier this morning, and then there was, well, why was that correct?
Variety thrifting, yeah, right.
And they didn't have a power cord with it, so I didn't get to test it there. And I was like, I think I've got one at home, and I know they have a return policy if it doesn't work. And I did pick something up. I picked up one item, and I was like, just happened to come across it as we were about to leave. Like, okay, it's big, it's bulky, it's heavy.
Yeah.
A 2.6 stereo infrared amp.
Nice.
$10. It has the remote. I paid $10 for this thing.
Sweet. Yeah, that'll be nice. And heavy is good.
And it sells for about
it's old school. Yeah, right. Old school. It's got some power and a power transformer that'll kill you. Yeah.
Fun testing that because I was lucky. I had a power cord. I was like, yes. It's like, so if you get into electronics, hang on, grab like a couple random power cords. Make sure they're not all the same. So they work. Yes.
I always keep those. I have a whole little tub up there with miscellaneous wall warts and power cords. And I'm always digging something out of there that I need. Yeah.
This cost me $1.
Yeah.
And I just happen to have this on hand.
Yeah. I've gotten quite good at sourcing replacement parts for stuff. And here's a little tip. When you get games in, especially if the game is worth the money, if it's like a vintage game and you're missing a piece or something like that, or even if it's not a vintage game, just a game that's worth good money, you can pay it because you can beat the price down and you just show them, oh man, it's missing pieces, I'll give you $1 for it. Okay, fine. Because I know I can go find the part. And I've had really good luck calling the actual manufacturer, like Hasbro or Mattel or whoever it happens to be, and getting new parts. I've gotten Lego parts. I've got parts in the mail coming now for something else that I'm waiting for, some kind of erector construction set. They're sending me the parts for free. Have you ever seen those things called snap circuits by Elenco?
Yes. Okay,
so I had a really nice Snap Circuits 300 SC300 kit that I'd paid like $2 for at a yard sale, and he swore up and down it's complete. And I opened it up, and it is complete. Everything's still there and sealed, and the books are there in good shape and everything else. But the box looked like the hamsters had been chewing on it for a week. Just crashed, And so I said, well, I wonder. So I called up Elenco, and I said, I've got this box. I got a game. I want to give it to my nephew, and I got it from a friend of mine used, and the box is all beat up, but the game has never been opened. I mean, the kit has never been opened. It's like brand new. Can I get another box? I said, sure. And they sent me one. So ask. Call them up and ask. Look it up. A lot of manufacturers will provide you with parts. Lego. What's really nice is that a lot of the kits have the layout of exact pictures of every piece and the number of what piece. So you sit there. I sat here for an hour one day counting 400-piece Lego construction White House kit, and and I found like 5 or 6 pieces that were missing, and I ordered them, and they sent them all. It was like $5 or something for all the pieces that I needed, and then I sold that thing for $80. So it was worth the effort.
So so you do more Amazon than you do eBay. How much do you have up on eBay right now?
I got about 10 things up on eBay right at the moment.
Wow.
I do have a store, but it's
wow.
just, you know, my viewpoint of eBay, I started out originally with eBay back in 20, I've been on eBay since 2003, but in 2012, I seriously started doing it. I actually started with, I got back into that. I was working online doing other stuff, referral marketing and various kinds of things like that. And a friend of mine turned me on to DSD, Dropship Domination. And he showed that, actually, I made money doing that, but I grew out of it. Because they teach you, if you follow what they tell you to do, the people that get in trouble doing that don't follow the rules. They try to stunt it, and they learn half of the way, and then they just take off on their own because they think they know better than a 10-year platinum power seller. You know, I could do this better. And then they get themselves shot in the foot and they get killed. So they don't know it. And, but so I started with them for a while. I started making, you know, $400, $500, $600 a month doing that. And I wasn't working it really hard, but the next level, they do a bunch of different levels. That was called the pro level. But the next level was something else. And then the level after that, all of them were subscription levels, was to teach you how to do Amazon. I said, well, let me go look at Amazon. So I went and looked at Amazon, and I started studying Amazon, and I jumped in, and I never looked back. And I pretty much stopped doing the drop shipping. I don't do it anymore. Now eBay is, my viewpoint of kind of like eBay is like Kmart and Amazon is like Nordstrom's, you know?
Yeah.
The stuff that I bring home that I can't sell, I either misscanned or realized something was broken on it, or, you know, it wasn't exactly in pristine condition, then I just put it on eBay. Or if it's brand restricted.
Yeah.
Like the last thing I did was, I'm ungated for groceries on Amazon.
Yep.
And I just sold a box of Pop-Tarts to somebody.
I just sold a box of cereal to somebody today. They paid.
Somebody paid $7.99 for a box of Pop-Tarts.
I got cereal for $2.50, and I had a coupon that I had to buy 3 boxes. And it's like, okay, well, essentially this box of cereal cost me just under $2, and somebody buys it on Amazon for $12.
Yeah, well, I've had to play crazy money on there, but anyway, I ran across my local market here is a Ralph's, and I shop over there all the time, and they've got a cart in the back of the store with clearance on it, and another one out in the aisles between on the cold aisle, the case aisle, you know. And I always check it. I ran by there, and here's these Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice bag coffee, ground coffee, and I say, oh, that's kind of cool. I picked one up. And I looked at the sell-by date. It was May of 2016. I said, holy crap, these are good. Yeah. And they cover the label like hell, but I just used the voice search and looked for it, and said, damn, these things are selling like for $55 a bag or something like that on Amazon. I said, that's insane. So he had 8 there. I bought 8 of those, and then a friend of mine was up shopping somewhere. I told her about it. She was at a food bank up in Sun Valley, and she said, I got a bunch of that stuff up there. So I went up there and I bought 12 more from them for $2.50 a bag. These were $2.25 a bag. I put them together, found out I couldn't sell them on Amazon. I said, no problem. I went to eBay and looked. I bagged them. I did 2 packs of them for $25, and they flew off the shelves. They were gone within 2 weeks. Everything was sold out, 20 or 10 2-packs. I made a boatload of money on that. So you can even sell food on eBay.
Yep.
Which I may have to look at more. But you still got the expiration. Food's a whole different game. You got that whole expiration date thing, and they'll start pulling your stuff at 60 days out, you know, so.
Yeah, like the Boo Berry Halloween cereal there's a Frankenstein and another one. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, Frankenberry and
Franken.
Count Chocula? No.
No, it's Count Chocula's always around. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
What's the pink one?
Frankenberry.
What's the blue one?
Booberry.
Okay, there you go.
The cereal expert.
Yeah. And just because it's got extra printing on it, like a special toy or no, it's got an app on it right now. I can't send it to Amazon. It's like, really?
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, just ever so slight differences, you can't send it into Amazon.
Yeah, but you
Try and
still
sell it on eBay, but sometimes even that gets particular.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I did food on eBay, so I said, well, we'll give it a try. I looked and I said, well, it's selling here. Okay, fine. I'll list it. And all of a sudden, it's the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Whoa. Find more. I couldn't find any more. I looked all over the place. Couldn't find any more. I have no idea why they put it on clearance. It's like this is the time of the year that stuff starts getting hot. You know, everything is pumpkin spice, you know?
Yeah.
There was a sign somebody posted about it. I know, Jiffy Lube oil change place. We have pumpkin spice oil, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Just because I at least wanted to bring it up. Guys, pay attention to your defect rating. I actually had to call Amazon with a couple of them. I've had people leaving me, like, item not as described for... Okay, I sold a kitchen appliance part to a new eBay buyer. And he left me absolutely positively glowing positive feedback. He left me 1 star for item not as described and 1 star for shipping time. I actually was able to call Amazon on this one, and they could see that, yes, I shipped it the day he bought it, and I shipped it priority mail today. So he got it in 2 days, and it was a kitchen appliance part, which going off of what he left me for feedback, they're like, if he loves it that much,
you have a text message.
If he loves it that much, then why is he leaving down 1 star for item?
Obviously a mistake. He clicked the wrong thing or something, yeah.
Amazon removed it.
Yeah, nice.
And then I had another new eBay buyer buy a Panasonic Omnivision VCR off of me. Okay. She did not read the title. She did not read the description. She just saw VCR. Okay. She bought it. Gets it. She's not happy. It doesn't come with a remote. It's in the title. It doesn't come with a remote. It's in the description. It does not come with a remote. She's unhappy that it didn't come with a remote. Opened an item not as described case and a return request. Yeah, that hurt.
That's not gonna fly, obviously, but yeah.
That hurt me in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So I got on the phone, I got a hold of eBay, and after having to go through the whole process, because of the timing of when she did all of that, like, I lost my top-rated seller status.
Yeah.
Now, I had other defects that were rolling off, but the fact that because of when she did it, I lost my top-rated seller status.
Mm-hmm.
And the rep said he thinks that I would get it back in the next week because that's when everything resets for the whole defects. Yeah, I didn't get it back, so I have to wait till next month.
Yeah.
Or should I say till on the 22nd, because it's supposed to be every 22nd of the month when
it's around the 20th or something. They do the eval for the whatever, they do the look back, but yeah.
Yeah, because of her, I went from a 1.77 defect rating, and then the guy with the kitchen appliance part, and then her with that, everything just fell just wrong. I ended up with like a 2.1% defect rating.
Ow.
And then I get them both removed, and I'm currently sitting at a 1.65.
Yeah, but it's all about the timing. Yeah.
But it's a fact of I'm no longer top rated plus power seller. I'm just power seller. It's like, man. And again, you sit on me, you go on camera. I'm
just going to look. I'm a power seller. And let me see. Messages 5. What's the 5? Pricing updates coming. We don't care. We're selling your items. We don't care. Outright statement. That's fine. Fine. Seller hub. Okay. Delete. Trying to figure out where it is. There's an eBay seller hub.
Yeah.
I signed up for that, so I'm waiting to see where.
Yeah, I signed up for that too. It's like I want to see what this is about. And then there's the oh crap, the having somebody sell the stuff on eBay for you. I actually found that account when I was doing research on an item, and it came up. It's like, man, what is this? Let me see if I can actually look for it again, because I shared it in one group. And
yeah, I'm just checking my seller dashboard. I'm top rated. I have a 20% discount. My account status is current. And my power seller, well, I am a power seller, but I'm on bronze, and there's a little red flag because I haven't sold enough stuff. So I may lose that.
yeah, I can't stay off of eBay. I've got too much stuff there.
Yeah. And yeah, see, right now I'm top rated, and my projected seller is above standard. Trying to see what my rating is here. Oh, woo.
Dogs again.
Yeah, Cooper's out there wooing.
Because this was an item that I picked up because I only saw the one listing that was incompleted and it sold. So I picked it up, and then I'm home. I was looking at it, looking up this account. Actually, here, let me do a screen share. There you go. Nope. All right, can you see that?
Yeah, little bookshelf stereo system. Yeah.
Yep, I picked that one up. I think I picked that up for like $10.
Nice.
And yeah, that one was all sorts of special. It was, I looked up this account because this was the one that really confused me. Like, what is it about this? Because there was only one. Like, doing my research, and then this account. Wait a minute, this account is special. What is it about this account? Let's see here. What does it say? This account. What am I? Seller information.
Yeah, there's no seller information. eBay stores, eBay Valet. Ah, okay. It's an eBay Valet. So I would question that pricing because I've heard that they tend to price high.
They actually price low.
Yeah. Okay.
They price it low. They don't care what it goes for. And they just want it out the door because they get a portion of it.
Yeah, well, that's interesting to know. When it has seller information and it's blank, you kind of know, all right, that's a key that it's eBay Valet.
Let's see here. Because they just list items they list everything as an auction.
Yeah.
Everything they have is an auction.
I wonder if they do the thing like Amazon or eBay's always saying, start your items at 99 cents, lose your ass. I mean,
yeah,
you'll do better. You're right. No, you'll do better. You'll get your listing fees and everything else, and I'll lose my butt.
Yeah, this thing that I picked up at Goodwill today, it actually, I saw somebody listed it as a buy it now for $150 with remote, and it sold. I saw somebody else who listed it without remote for 99-cent auction. I'm going to let you guess where that one ended up.
Yeah. I only got bit by that once. I was like, ooh, well, that was stupid.
Yeah, this guy that's the eBay valet is listing items like super low, and it's wow. So you'll come across eBay valet every now and again, and
that's the first time I've seen it. So.
Yeah, it's rare because that for them to actually have what you're selling.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys, don't feel free to leave any comments or questions in the chat. Like the chat stopped a while ago.
Well, I just found out these Atari cartridges come apart really easily.
Yeah.
So now I'm cleaning the contacts.
Nice.
With my eraser.
Eraser, really?
Yeah.
I've never cleaned one.
Use a polyester or a high polymer eraser. And you just buff the contacts with the eraser, and it's like a little abrasive, you know, so it cleans the contacts off pretty gently, and it makes them all nice and shiny and nice and clean.
Hmm.
You just blow the dust off, and there's no liquid involved, and slip it back into its case, and clean and shiny.
Yeah, I haven't cleaned one. I actually never cleaned one. I've always just tested them.
Yeah, I bought the, I'd have to go find it, see if I have a working Atari. I think I do. But I know I've got GameCubes. I've got a Wii now. I've got an Xbox 360 over there. I got a PS2 in a bag down there.
I saw my Goodwill had an Xbox 360 for $20. It's like, I don't know if I want to get into buying a complete Xbox 360. $20 for reselling. I think that's a little high, so not even going to.
Yeah, I bought an Xbox 360. I source a lot on OfferUp, and there's a new one out right now called what is it called? Let me open it up here. Wallapop, WALLAPOP. And this little microcassette recorder is one of my listings, and they allow you to put 4 pictures on. That's the thing I don't like about OfferUp. You get a single picture.
Huh.
And and they give you a lot of room for description and all that kind of stuff. So it's really pretty nice. It's called Wallapop. And so I've been putting up some listings on it, but I use these for sourcing. And like all the stuff today, I dropped $190 today, and it was all off of Craigslist. I got the Wii machine and everything for it, the complete Wii, including the balance board and all controllers, multiples of controllers, and 10 games for $120. I will triple that probably with all the parts. I picked up a Lord of the Rings Risk Edition with the ring, complete in cherry condition, for $20, and I'm sure that'll flip for about 60, probably 50 or 60 at least.
Where do you get your old systems from? Because Tidwell says that he needs some old systems to test stuff on, but he doesn't want to pay a high dollar amount for them.
I find them at garage sales primarily is the best place to find stuff like that, is because the it's like I think I paid $20 for the PS2 that I bought with a single controller and 1 game, because the game was in it. But so that's where I get them. And like I said, I bought an Xbox 360 off of OfferUp for it had 6 games with it and 2 controllers, 2 wireless controllers, and everything. I paid $100 for it, and it works sweet. And 4 of the games alone sell for $80 total. So, the Xbox basically cost me $20. And then I sell a lot of Xbox 360 games, PS2, PS3. PS2 is not so hot anymore, but PS3 games sell well.
I know some of the PS2 games still sell well.
Yeah, a few of them do.
I'm still kicking myself because when I was not long before I was getting started as a reseller, I knew some of my stuff was worth money, but I didn't know how to sell on eBay. And I asked a friend of mine, said, hey, I know your boyfriend does this. Can you give this stuff to him and sell them for me? And then like a cut. And I'm like 50%. Never saw them again. And one of the games that I was actually wanting to get back, I didn't get back, never saw them again. And that one game was actively selling for $150.
Yeah. This is weird. While we're talking here, I've taken these Atari cartridges apart and cleaning them. Yep. And I find two that have Phillips head screws on the back. I have two that have triangle type screws on the back with, I can't tell if there's there's no stud in the center. It's just a triangle, a trifoil shaped thing. Get my light back on me here. And one has no screws at all. It's like, what's up with that?
All right, we got a question. Amanda S. Question. Since there are new seller standards coming up, do you worry about the defects you receive? I got a positive feedback, but a defect for item description. I'm not fully sure I understand what all the defects are, but for the most part, what I understand, it's actually going to be a whole lot better. So yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it. And for the most part, if what I understand is correct, as long as you're shipping the correct item out in a timely fashion, you're fine. Like, that'll help on so many things, because about last year, I had to, and I'll tell you this now, I always take my items to the post office. I don't leave them out for the mailman to pick up, because last January, I had somebody steal my outgoing mail. I have 4 defects because I had to cancel transactions because somebody came and stole my outgoing mail, which really sucks. Yeah. Because one of them was the feet for a Ronco Rotisserie 4000. And the guy who stole it would have been like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. They probably just looked at it and threw it away.
Yeah, but he would have known that, because then I was actually putting in invoices. It's like, here's your packing slip, there's the invoice. And he would have seen that I sold those feet for $40. It's like, man, and it shipped first class. Just had to get a really size 5 envelope. It's like, I didn't carry size 5 envelopes. So I had to go to the store and buy one, put it in, pack it up, send it in the mail.
Ain't that over the way?
And let's see, he got that. He got a T-shirt. He got the heat shield for the same Ronco Rotisserie, and there was something else. I don't remember. Yeah, it was. If you didn't hear my wife, it was roughly about $100, $150 worth of merchandise.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, and they just threw half of it in or most of it in a trash can because there was nothing they wanted. They were hoping that it was something good, like an iPad or something. This guy's looking for stuff to sell so they can buy drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't sell those kinds of high-end electronics. The kind of stuff that I sell, if you picked up something out front that I left for the mailman, you would have picked up a VCR if you were lucky.
Yeah. Well, damn, I don't have a triangle shaped one. I've got every other shape in the world, but no triangle ones. I've even got the ones that take the NES cartridges apart.
All right, I am going to go get another cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
All right. I'll hold up the fort here.
All right.
So one of the things, guys, you want to do if you want to play in this arena is learn how to evaluate stuff, learn how to fix stuff, learn how to find parts for stuff, learn how to research stuff, because you will make yourself a lot of money if you take a little bit of time to do it. Like I was saying, many times you can call the manufacturer of a game and get parts for that game. if it's a relatively new game, like within the last 10 years or so. Other stuff, there are Facebook groups and other places where you can order stuff. eBay is a great resource. Like I bought a Lord of the Rings Trilogy Edition Risk game a while back, and it was pristine, beautiful. Everything was still packed inside. And I opened it up and looked. Everything looked great. And I brought it back home. Then I'm doing a final inventory to get ready to pack it, and I realized there's no ring. Like, duh, because there's no place. They have this real thin black plastic vacuum formed tray with all the little pockets in it, and there's really not a pocket for the ring. So it wasn't obvious that the ring was missing, and I didn't think about it. And I'm not a board game player, so I didn't twig to it right away either. But I'm on eBay. I got the ring for $6. So, and I only had, I think, $4 in the game in the first place. So I was in it for really 10, and I still sold it for like 70. So I'm good. So you have to kind of you play the game. Is it worth spending time to find the parts for this game? For a $20 game, no. Part it out or throw it away or donate it back or whatever. If it's a $50, $60 game, yeah, I'll put an hour into tracking down parts.
I'm missing one card for this game.
I just sent in Burbankopoly. And one shipment ago, I sent in Cowopoly. There's so many versions of Monopoly.
My sister is the one who actually helped me out when after I got evicted, and I was at the very beginning stages of really turning this into a full-time business. She is actually coming back to me because she understands now that I've turned this into a full-time business. I make good money at it.
Mm-hmm.
She has been giving me stuff to sell. She's a Monopoly game collector, and she's looking to move some of them away, and she's giving me them. We've been going through trying to figure out, are they complete? Is there everything here? And some stuff isn't complete. Some stuff just completely part out. And what I could send into Amazon, I already shrink wrap sent into Amazon. This one's missing one card. It's like, do I want to spend the money on Amazon because there's only one guy that has that one card and a whole bunch of other cards? I only have one.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's worth just keeping an eye out, setting it aside. If it's worth money, then I'll set it aside and mark on it. I'll put a sticky on it or something that tells me what it is it needs. And I kind of keep that in the back of my mind. And when I'm traveling, you'll run across, hey, there's one, in a yard sale somewhere. And you grab that other box, and now you have a complete one. So,
yeah. But the other thing that she has, and I'm really excited to get, I'm giving her 50%. And I'm really excited to see this come in because she says she wants to go back through her.
She's got to break everything down and put it in boxes. What it is. She's got to take everything.
To give you a rough idea, my sister is one of those people that doesn't have to worry about money. She makes more money than God.
Mm-hmm.
She makes an easy 6 figures every year.
Okay, babe.
But she has I think almost every single Lego.
She has a lot of the original Lego Star Wars sets.
Lego Star Wars. Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Almost everything is complete. If it's not complete, then she'll give it to me and she's like, this is complete. This is here with the box. She even has.
They're still in good condition.
She even has the one Harry Potter Lego minifig that sells for the most money because it is such a hard to find piece. It is
Dolores Umbridge.
Dolores Umbridge.
Seriously, I should have to tell you that.
I just remember the lady that everybody hates more than Lord Voldemort. Everybody wants her dead more than. She's a little pink minifig. This big.
Did you take my stuff out of that laundry already?
Yes.
Okay, good.
She sells anywhere from 55 to 75. And evidently there's one guy that has it graded and he's asking like 180.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have a minifig graded? Really? Okay, well, you can find a way to have them graded. Do graded minifigures sell? Okay, well,
I suppose so.
but yeah, I don't know what it is about Legos. There are people that are hardcore collectors for Legos, or they just want that one little part for their Lego. Like,
To finish it, yeah.
I have it. It's yours. Here you go. But yeah.
Well, it's like people say, you know, is it worth money to part out those things like you were talking about, that broiler thing and whatever? And you think about it, who's going to pay $40 for a set of feet? Well, you're going to think that they probably bought that thing at retail or at the, you know, at the fair, or somebody hustled them for $300 for that stupid, you know, thing. And now they have a broken item that doesn't work anymore sitting on their countertop. So they can throw away a $300 item, or they can spend $40 and get the part they need and continue to use it. So that's kind of like, that's where you go on that, you know, rather than buy a new one, you know.
Yeah.
The thing that really gets me about parting things out, though, is the $30 blender you can get at Walmart. And when people pay $20 for the lid or $10 for that rubber seal,
Yeah.
when they could go out and replace the unit itself for the same or less money sometimes.
Yeah, but the $30 one at Walmart is a piece of crap. My wife has one.
I know.
I picked up a gorgeous KitchenAid brushed stainless steel. This thing weighs about 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, you know, electronic and everything else. I got it for $15 at a sale, and it's perfect. It's like unused, and it doesn't leak.
Cheap, man.
Yeah. I was picking up the other day for stuff to resell. She decided she had to keep a food processor that was almost complete.
Well, it's not a great food processor, but we don't have one, and I need one. So
Yeah, it's a handy thing to have. I always offer my stuff to my wife when I come home, because she's not into this at all. She doesn't care what I do or anything else, and really not interested in anything. But I still show her stuff, you know. I came home with a little Black & Decker mini chopper, those little 1-cup choppers.
I passed on one of those today.
Yeah, and I had picked it up, and it was in good shape. It's clean and everything else. I picked it up at a yard sale or at a estate sale for like $2. And as I just showed her, I said, "Interested? Yeah, I'll take that." Okay. On the counter. So, but other stuff I bring home, and she gets pissed because I fill the oven with cast iron. Get this crap out of here. I got a whole bunch of cast iron skillets and cornbread pans and griddles and everything else that I've rehabbed, you know.
You know, I grew up cooking on cast iron, so the thought of passing on cast iron kind of make, especially good old cast iron, makes me twitch. I'm like, I would take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner or Griswold or some of those other old ones.
See, I still to this day struggle to cook on some of this crap that I've gotten here now, because I'm like, it's not heavy enough. It's not working.
Yeah, it's not stable. Yeah, it heats quickly and it cools off quickly, so it's really hard to regulate.
Yep.
Once you heat a cast iron up and then turn it down, it's stable as a rock. It just this sears the steak so nice and cooks burgers and bacon so nice.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just a little rinse with hot water and a quick wipe and done.
Yep.
But I had to go through the whole deal of learning, because I got a bunch of really grody looking ones, and I had to go through the whole deal of learning how to clean them, you know. And I just used the self-cleaning cycle in the oven and pop them in there for 2 hours, and everything just falls off.
Nice.
All the junk just falls off. It bakes back to standard baked cast iron. You just give it a quick rinse and wash off it and scrub any little wire brush action if there's any remaining rust that didn't want to come off or something, and clean it up. Put it back in there, let it warm up and dry, make sure it dries, it doesn't get flash rust on it, and then start seasoning it. And I go through two or three seasoning cycles, and it's like a mirror on the bottom of the pan now. Beautiful. So
I finished that coffee too quickly.
you know, one of the things that I hear a lot of times people asking about, how do you know what to buy? how do you pick a niche or whatever, you know? And
it's basically, it starts off for just about everybody, because I know it did for me, as a hodgepodge. It's anything.
Yeah, exactly.
After a while, some stuff will work for you, but it doesn't work for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was in a hangout with the Golden Finger Picker the other day, and he's like, man, what's up with these Panasonic Omnivisions? It's like, I've got one with the remote, and I can't get it to go out. It's like, I cannot sell this thing. It's like, dude, I don't know. Every time I get one, it's gone in like 2 weeks.
You're welcome here.
Yeah, it's so, yeah, where I was going with that is that first you start out with something that you actually know, you know, something you know something about, and then you start delving deeper into an area maybe you hadn't had the reason to do it before, but now you do, because now before it was just an interest because you wanted to play with it or use it or do it or whatever, but now it actually means money, and there's a reason to go even deeper. So you start learning that, and once you learn that one, that one's in your mind, and you know to look for that particular item when you're outsourcing, and then you see something else that catches your eye, and then you start doing research on that, and it gradually grows, and your repertoire expands into many different areas. So, you know, I've moved from just, like you said, omnivorous everything, a hodgepodge of everything, to specializing in certain areas. So
yeah,
cameras, vintage electronics, micro cassettes, mini cassettes, things like that, Discman players, Sony Discman, big money.
I see one of those,
Stuff like that, vintage board games, VHS tapes, because nobody seems to think they're worth anything, but I make money on them.
Yeah.
You know, and you start finding areas that work for you, and you watch your stats. If you look at your stats, you'll see where the most of your sales are starting to come, and there you can start like refining your picking to more in that area that are bringing a better return, that are moving quickly and bringing in the higher returns, you know. So you start refining your hustle, you know. And since I pretty much do this full time now, this is what I do. I have the luxury of taking the time to refine my hustle, you know.
I started off with Super Nintendo games because I had a massive collection, and I needed the money. It paid me to do it, but I listed them all on eBay. Oh my God, I miss them so much, but I made so much money that first month. I mean, some of those things sold for way more, and I paid brand new.
Yeah, it was like Ronan does the same thing, you know. Paul, that's where he started. That was his thing. He started with all the little army guys that you paint and stuff, you know, all the Warhammer and all those kinds of things. He started out in that area. That's where he just expanded, you know.
I can never find any good, and I can never find any Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, I just did 3 or 4 in this past time. I just sold Zelda for $40.
Nice.
It wasn't Ocarina of Time. Which one was it? I forgot. I remember paying Zelda when it was a text-based game.
God. I had
A Link to the Past. That's what I sold.
Final Fantasy for Game Boy. I have no idea what happened to all of my Game Boy games. I really don't. And for years, long before I was a reseller, my wife kept telling me, why do you have all of those empty Game Boy game boxes? It's just trash. Throw it away. Don't throw them away.
Don't throw them away. I was dealing with a guy. I bought a bunch of NES and stuff like that from him, and he had he didn't have the boxes. And he said, oh, I threw away all the boxes and the paperwork. Smooth move, dude. What do you mean smooth move? I said, that's where the money is. People will pay for just the box because their box got trashed or they lost it or whatever. Even if you don't have the game, they'll buy the box. It's like, duh. Oh, okay.
I had every single box for every game that I had.
Yeah. This is an NES, DS game, I guess. That's something else I sell is the DS, the Nintendo and the Game Boys and things like that. I'm starting to get more and more into that kind of stuff because I find them at good prices. So it's actually been a pretty profitable game because you can usually pick them up, especially if you buy in bulk. When you go in and buy one or two, they want $5 a piece for them and things like that. Not an awful lot of money in them. Some of them, yes, some of them, no. But sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs in order to get to the prince. And sometimes you want to you may buy 10 games and 6 of them are awesome money and 4 of them are crap, But you buy the crap too just to make the deal. You just amortize it across all of them, It still works. So you have to be quick on think about that. Let's see. Okay, that'll work. Let's do it. It's like when I bought that Xbox 360 with all those games. I did a quick look up on the games. The games were selling for like $20, $30, $40 a piece. And so I said, I got my money back just on the games, and I still got a 360 with 2 controllers.
Game related, I still have the sweater.
Mm-hmm.
It is currently my most watched item, my most viewed item, and I've already had 2 offers on it. I'm not going to let anybody lowball me.
Yeah, what is it? I can't really tell what it is.
It is a Contra Ugly Christmas sweater.
Oh.
If you just type in Contra Ugly Christmas sweater, you will go straight to my store. I am the only person who has it.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who has had it. Sif, get down.
I'll be right.
Yeah, she was trying to get on the clothes that I've recently washed. It's like, yeah, no. Good thing I had the camera on because that's how I saw her. But yeah, I have it listed high. I figure it will go, but I'm not going to let it go for too low because it's bringing people to my store. It will, even if they're just typing in Contra and sweater, because evidently Contra is like a really big game and something clothing related, and I'm the only person who has it, it'll bring them in. Hey, what else does this guy have? Oh, well, he has all this stuff, and he has all this stuff. Okay, well, let's shop. So highball some items if you are the only person who has it, and it will bring them into your store. So they will at least take a look at what else you have. So if you can do it, do it. I know who one of those watchers is. Paul.
That's better. Too much Pepsi.
And oddly enough, I still have my Starbucks mug Houston mugs. I sold the Kuwait. That one went to an army guy overseas. That's all I know. It's still on its way.
Yeah. Make you a hell of a deal on some Starbucks Christmas blend from last year. I still got 2. This is something I'm going to put up. This is a PSP box for Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, whatever, anime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Capcom. The box is pristine. The paperwork inside is pristine. The game is gone. But somebody will still pay me for this box.
Yep.
So crazy stuff like that,
Like for anybody who's interested, if you're into role-playing games,
RPGs, yeah.
Old cartridges, not the discs, but the cartridge for like a Super Nintendo, N64. Those are the good money.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the games that I liked because I was always the role-playing game. I wasn't one of those that liked those first-person shooter games, sports games.
I had the original Xbox and I gave it to my grandson.
Oh. Yeah, but because of that, that's what I liked, and that's what I had. That's how I was able to make so much money on eBay when I was first getting started. It's like, I don't know, but on here it says you can get started with selling these at 99-cent auctions with no insertion fee. Like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, and I need the money, so I'm just going to do all of these for 99-cent auction. And because that's how I got started, that's how I started off so well. And I miss those games so bad.
Yeah. Who's got time to play anymore? I sat down one day, and when I had the 360, and I had bought a whole bunch of games, a big stack of games for $2 a piece. I bought I think I had 15 games or something like that. I sat down one Saturday afternoon or one Sunday, and that's all I did was play these games. Because I also have a FJS disc polisher, so I can repair the game. You know,
I have a disc buffer. I just need a better one because one I have is crap.
Yeah, I have one of those expensive ones. They're $100 and some.
Yeah, that's the one that I need.
Yeah, works pretty well. I'm happy with it. So,
question Well asks, do you ever worry about people not reading closely and thinking it comes with the game? So for your...
You mean selling the box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure it's in the pictures, and I put it in there, and I show the picture of because I always take my own pictures. I show the picture with obviously the game is missing. So there's no game even shown in the picture, you know. But, you know, you really have to look at how your ad's going to display on mobile. When you put up a listing, you should go on your phone and go look at your listing to see what it looks like. Because many times it's just a picture. And they have to scroll to see the description and the other stuff and the conditions and all that. And they don't do that. They see the picture and say, oh, that's what I want, bang, gone. They don't bother to read the description that it's broken in half, or it's for parts only, or, you know, whatever. And they rarely even read the title. So there's a large percentage, anywhere from 40 to 60% variable of purchases on eBay are done via mobile. And they're really moving to that. So when you do stuff, that was one of the reasons that eBay got in trouble with Google and started losing ground with Google and not getting their stuff indexed, because the eBay was trying to play fast and loose with some gray hat SEO stuff and game the system, and Google caught them and shut them down. So now it's really hard to see, although you're starting to see it more. Now when you Google stuff, you start to see eBay listings a lot again. But it used to be you didn't see eBay listings. You see Amazon listings, but not eBay listings. But now you do. But so they're trying to fix that. And also it was despite no. I don't know who that is, but I'll call them later. Don't recognize the number.
For your description on mobile, it seems like they choose sentences at random to display.
Yeah, they just it's like it's a scraper, like they do with the spiders, and they left a 2-second voicemail. It's a scraper that just scrapes part of the title or something like that, and a lot of times those are pretty incomplete. Well, they couldn't have said much in 2 seconds. What they have to say.
All right, just because it's cool and interesting, I am going to share this. And screen share is always painful to look at. Here is the Contra Ugly Christmas sweater. Yeah, I've had somebody trying to lowball me. Somebody offered me $15 and they offered me $35. It's like, yeah, no. It's like, I'll take a best offer. It's like I really want this. Can I have it for this? No. I'll let it go for as low as 45, but yeah. I can't let it go that low.
I really want this. Yeah, my dad used to tell me. Yeah, people in hell want ice water too.
It's bringing in too much traffic.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, so I've had a few things that do well on auctions, but you have to pick, you know.
Yeah.
Get there, it really has to be something that's unique and hard to find and you think that people are going to do it. I don't bother with auction. I do everything by it now. Occasionally I'll do an auction if it's something like we were talking earlier today about those Luxfer prism glass things. Those I put at an auction. I started them at $10. They went to $75. So they
it's something that I know for a fact will go for a high dollar amount. I will do it as a 99-cent auction.
Yeah, I won't. Well, I'll never start with a 99 cents because
I do it just to get more people in and looking at my items.
Yeah, I'm too chicken to do that because it would be my luck that something will happen or the listing doesn't get seen and some schmuck will buy it for 99 cents, you know? Because I'm one of those schmucks because I use a sniper and I'll go after stuff and I buy. One of the things that I snipe is handheld games, handheld electronic games. Big money.
People like us that know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But people who don't know what they're doing that go out and try to sell stuff that they lose their shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna snipe you. We're gonna buy it off of you. It's like I don't normally do this, but I actually bought a collectible credit card, and I have it.
Right. You were doing that. Yeah.
I have it listed for 3 times that what I paid.
Yeah.
The credit cards, yes, they are still moving. Yes, I sold 3 the other day. To the
that's an interesting niche. I never who'd have thunk it, you know?
Like, yeah, it's still. I don't know. I don't care. They take up almost no room, and there's money. It's like I have pictures of these, but I just need to get them all listed. I just kind of got tired of listing them, but they take up this much room. That's a minimum worst case scenario, $5 a piece.
Cool.
But I sold one the other day for $17. Like they're just, I don't understand it, but there's a credit card collector society out there. They want it, they can have it. So, all right. So I guess we have strayed a little bit from the main topic. So let's see here. The good, the bad, the ugly. We've covered some of the bad and the ugly. We've covered some of the good. Actually, we've covered a lot of the good. Any negative responses for selling on eBay and Amazon? I think I'm sure we have.
I don't think it's negative. I think it's a somewhat self-regulating, and the Darwin principle really works. It does on eBay to a certain extent, but it's even more so on Amazon. Is that if you're pretty laissez-faire about your condition standards, you play loose with the rules and stuff like that, it's going to bite you in the ass. You really need to pay attention and know your game. That's a professional level selling platform. You need to be professional about doing it, or don't play, because you're just going to get killed.
Because if you don't list something in the right category, it will get lost. That's how I've been able to get that great deal on that one credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got to pay attention because you're piggybacking on another listing. When I first got started, I was listing a bunch of books and stuff. I listed a book on parakeet care, and then for some reason it came up as an Asian change or something like that. And I looked at it; it's listed in musical instruments. Like, what the? I didn't see that when I did the listing. Like, duh. So I got a hold of Amazon and got them to move it to the right category because I could sell books, but. It's like, what? And people will, because of the gated categories in Amazon, people will try to game the system and list something that in a totally non-related field or category to get around the listing. If they can't sell some particular item, they're not ungated in it, then they'll say, well, I'll sell it someplace else and just call it, it's a electronic widget when it's actually a toy or something, you know?
Yeah. Question, the simple joys of life. When you've used the disc buffer, does it completely remove the scratches? Well, yours is better than mine. My disc buffer, it leaves a whole bunch of little circles all around it. So, yeah, that's why mine's crap.
Yeah, mine is a FJS, I guess it is, or F&F, or I think it's a big old white box with a motor in it, and you put the thing inside and slap the lid shut and hit the button for 2 minutes. And it's got buffing pads and stuff like that. And it's a two-step process. It's a relatively, there's a multi-step process. There's actually sandpaper discs in there. If you have one that's really bad, you can actually put in sandpaper stuff and buff it down to it's a matte finish, and then rebuff it with the polishing compound to bring it back up. And if you look real close in the light after you're done with the second step, you can see the slightest little squirrel marks, but the disc is pretty pristine. It's not ever going to be, I don't know if it's worth it to try to get it that way, to get it mirror, mirror finish like a brand new disc that's never been touched by human hands. But they're really close, and so they do work. That machine's $120. Now, I bought that off of Amazon. It was on sale. I found it on sale and bought it. I got it home. I used it one time, and then the second time I tried to use it, it just blew the fuse. It's got an inline, a regular glass, the old school bus glass fuses, and it blew the fuse. And so I went and found another fuse, put it in there, blew the fuse again. Okay, that's a bummer. So I went looking on the paperwork, and I said, "Oh, what luck! These guys are 3 miles from me in Van Nuys. They're like, just on the other side of town, a couple of miles from where I live." So I called them up. I said, "I bought one of your units off of Amazon, and it keeps blowing the fuse." He goes, "Oh, it must be something wrong with the motor. Bring it in, I'll give you another one." Okay, fine. So I went over there. They just handed me I just brought the unit itself. He said you can keep all the buffing pads and the compound and all that kind of stuff and the box and everything else. Just bring the unit. So I brought the unit. He handed me a brand new box, all new buffing compound, all new pads, and all new everything. And just handed it to me. He said, "There you go, thanks." So great service, great customer service, no questions asked.
Save the time and hassle of shipping.
Yeah, they didn't have to bother to do a return or anything else, and it works great. And I salvaged. I was telling you, I had like 13 or 16 games, and I went through and I had about 4 of them that weren't playable, and I was able to resurrect 3 of the 4.
Nice.
So it is worth it. It does pay itself off after a while. But there's some stuff you can't do, so there's certain ones that have certain particular features that they don't lend themselves to being buffed out. So you have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, when our lease is up here, we have to get a house because business has expanded past apartment living.
Yeah.
I definitely have to have more room for everything, and a disc buffer is one of those things that I plan on getting.
Yeah.
And yeah, because when I first got my disc buffer, we went through every single one that I had. And yes, I had a lot. And then I just sent them all into Amazon, and boom, 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 stuff was just flying out. It does help because you do have those discs buffed, and there was a couple of them that came back, but that's why I want to get a better one before I get back into this again.
Well, I run my entire operation out of a 10 by 11 room, which has a photo studio with a backdrop and umbrella lights and everything else over there, and piles of crap everywhere, and a dresser with my clothes in it, and things like that. And then I have half of a 2-car garage as my packing and shipping and prep area and backstock storage for eBay stuff that's waiting to go out or waiting to be listed or whatever,
Yeah.
That's always a fun thing about eBay is, and Merchant Fulfilled on Amazon, is that sometimes stuff sits for a while and it can get lost in the shuffle. And somebody bought something I had Merchant Fulfilled on Amazon, and I'm tearing the garage apart. I cannot find it. The VCR and DVD combo.
Oh God.
Of Sony. I'm looking for it. I sold it for like $90 or something. I'm looking everywhere for it. I was just about to suck it up and take the hit. And then I walked into the bedroom to do something, and I happened to glance. I was like, holy shit, there it is, sitting on top of the TV. I was using it. It's been up on my TV. I have a TV in the bedroom, but I never watch. But, so there was a cable box and the VCR was sitting up there because I had been testing it there. And I just never take it down. It's still sitting there.
least you know it works.
Yeah, definitely knew it worked. But yeah, Amazon could be tough on shipping out stuff like that. I wonder if I still have those pictures. I had a bunch of pictures of one of the things that they killed. What did I do with it? Probably threw them away. Yeah, I don't see it here anywhere. No. But speaking of handheld games, let me bring this up so you can see it and share this with you. This is another thing that sells. I picked that up for $1, put a battery in it, and it's listed for $47.
Nice. Oh, I actually had one of those. It was brand new in the box.
Yeah.
It was plasticky clamshell thing. I sold my money on for $75.
Mm-hmm. They vary. I bought it. That's one of the things that I'll snipe. I'll kind of get in a mood and stop sharing. I'll get in a thing and I'll go on and start looking for auctions that are ending within the next 4 or 5 hours because I have a short attention span. And the next 4 or 5 hours that have no or very few bids, low prices, and I'll look for handheld electronic games.
Yeah,
because they sell well. And the last batch I bought 5 of them that ended up costing me $5.80 each, shipped to the house, done. And they all sold for over $20 each. Some went out for like 30 or 40. So that's a good flip. And they move pretty quickly. Yahtzee and poker and blackjack and the ones that I don't do any well with is Sudoku. Nobody wants a damn electronic Sudoku. They're 5 cents,
Yeah, I came across a couple of them that were brand new in the package at Goodwill.
No money in them.
I scanned them, and they were going for less than I could pay for.
Yeah, exactly. So I learned that right away. No Sudoku.
There's
after I bought one,
still a select few that are worth it, but no. It's if you were lucky to find them, yes, but for the most part, no.
Right. Yep. So lots of cool stuff you can sell, and problems with Amazon, not really. The biggest problem I've had with Amazon is either losing parts of my shipment or miscounting. The last thing I sent in was I do a lot of old vintage retro tech and stuff like that. So I'd sent in a handspring visor, personal PIM, palm top thing, which I remember because I used one a lot. That was kind of my trademark. I always had that thing on me. I was always using it for everything. And it was before the smartphone days. And I sent it in, and they received the shipment, and their count was 2. I said, "Wow, did they get together in the middle of the box and make a baby, or what? What happened here? How did that work? But because they couldn't get the count right, they suppressed the entire listing. So it sat for 2 weeks and several things. And I finally just wrote back to him one day. I said, guys, this isn't frickin' rocket science. I sent 1, you counted 2. Fix it. And the next day it went live. It's like, quit.
I had a problem where they got my shipment and there was one item that wasn't there. And it's like, I know for a fact because I put that in there. It wasn't that big of a shipment. And I remembered every single item. And they're like, well, it wasn't there, so oh well. It's like,
no, not oh well.
Lose it.
Well, that's why we're doing the package slips. Did you see that little blurb that somebody did? I think it was Michael, what's his name? Pierce, yeah. That little thing you did on how to do the package slips. That's exactly how I do my packing. When you do your shipments for Amazon, one of the things I do when it splits the shipment up, you can pop down and say show the shipment contents, And you can scroll in Chrome. You can do this. You can scroll and highlight the entire thing, right click and hit print, and it prints out that page. And that's how I pack my boxes. I take that to the garage with me and say, okay, check it off. That's in the box. Check it off. That's in the box. Because I have a different workflow. I bring stuff into the office, so I'm doing this book. So I look it up, I prep it, I clean it, I get pictures of it, I label it, I put it in the box. I'm done with it because I have a Zebra over here that I do, a thermal printer that I do my labels with, and I label them as I go. I don't print 30Fs, and because that's annoying to have to go out and sort through the 30Fs to try to find that one label of 60 items, and where it's like it reminded me of playing that game Concentration, trying to remember where the jack was, and all the cards are flipped over, and it was just annoying. So I changed my thing. So that's how I process stuff. So when I go out to the garage, I have lists of how many each box has its own list. I know what's in the box. I cross it off. The box is done. Close it up. Seal it. Done. Right on the sheet. Actually, here's one. Here's one of my last shipments. So here's the actual sheet. This is what it prints out. It's all in order that you listed them, or that it's on the page. It shows in the page, and it gives you the EAN, and you can have it show the ASIN and everything else if you want. What its condition is, what your FSN SKU is, how many is supposed to be in the thing, and I circle how many went in the box and give it a check. If it's a multiple box shipment, I mark it as box 1 or box 2 as I fill the box, so I know what it is. And then when I'm back, and then I write on the side over here how much the box, the size, and how much it weighed, and how much it cost me to ship it. And then I scan these in, and it goes in with my shipment folder for that shipment. So I know exactly what went in there, how many went in, what it cost me to ship it, what size box it went in, and where it went. This one went to Ontario 8. And then I have another one here for the 2 items that went to Burbankopoly. Went to, where did it go to? BNA 2, Lebanon, Tennessee. So again, same thing, 5-pound box, just. So that's my system. And this is the perfect packet list. If you got to send a shipping, because you can print this out hard copy print, which is what I use there, but you could also save it as PDF, and you could upload that PDF, and there's your packet list. Or you could just, print 2 copies of this and throw one of them in the box.
You can throw in packing slips in the box for FBA. I'll tell you exactly what they do with them. They throw them away.
They throw them away, yeah. But they're coming with a new thing though. You're gonna have to start doing it, and they want you to actually upload a package slip. So if you download the regular file that they give you, it's a piece of crap text file that you cannot read. Because it's just all run together, just unformatted. It's just a string of text.
Yep.
And so if you import it into Excel, it's still there. I mean, it's there, and it breaks it out into columns, and everything is there, but it's still hard. You can't print it, because it's like 25 columns wide with all kinds of irrelevant crap on it. So you have to go through and spend 10 minutes massaging the spreadsheet, killing columns that don't count, and condensing it down till you get it where you can print it. That's just a waste of time. But this, I just said, just mark it all, right click, print, done. And it's all nice and neat and laid out in order.
You answered Randy Dreammaker's question. How do you ship different kinds of items for FBA in the same box? Do you have to include some kind of packing slip? No, not really. But
not yet, but they're going to require it soon. They're starting people to get. They're asking you to opt into the program. It started, and they're giving some sort of incentive. I'm not sure what it was. I wasn't paying attention. But after the first of the year, it's going to be mandatory. So you should learn how to do it. That's why. So if you go on Facebook, one of the groups there, you'll find Michael Pierce put up a video. He's a big video game guy. That's his major game is video games. He buys in lots off of eBay and then sells them out. But that how you do that when you're doing your shipment on Amazon is when you find and break up your shipping, you just click on the right side where it says show shipment content, and it'll bring out the whole page of what's in that box or in that shipment. And then you can just highlight that in Chrome. You can highlight that whole thing, right click and print it. There's a hard copy, which is my packing list, but you can also print it as a PDF, and then actually you'll start to, you see it now, you upload the package slip. So you can upload that to Amazon.
Simple joys of life. When you're selling used items, do you list every single flaw you see, no matter what it is? Like a game system with a bunch of accessories and they all have minor flaws. How would you list that? It's like, well, with Amazon, I'm not sure how to do that. Cause,
Amazon, you probably wouldn't send it in.
Yeah.
In the first place, Amazon is a higher level of quality.
Yes.
Looks like you sell VCRs, DVDs. It better have a remote with it. If it doesn't have a remote, you better make the decision if you better source the remote off of eBay before you list it and send it. And the remote needs to be included. You can't put a disclaimer in there so it does not include remote. That's a violation of Amazon's terms of service.
She's saying her question is for eBay, not Amazon, by the way. So, yeah.
Okay, so eBay is a little more lenient about it. And I would list most of the stuff as far as if there was anything that was obvious. There's also just generic terms like, you know, typical wear and tear, you know, normal shelf wear, you know, or on, like on books or something like that, you know, has normal shelf wear or some highlighting or whatever. A game system that has, you know, first you need to clean them up. You know, you can do an amazing amount of stuff with a little bit of cleaner and a paper towel, you know, or a magic sponge. That's another thing too. Those Mr. Clean magic sponges, those things are expensive as hell. You can get 1 million of them from Hong Kong for $5. So don't bother buying the Mr. Cleans. Yeah, magic eraser. That is, it's called I forgot what it's called. It's got a name. I can't remember the name of it right off the head. But you can get the exact same thing from Hong Kong in a big bundle wrapped in black plastic. I got 100 of them for like $4.95, and you get 1 box of Mr. Clean for $4.95. So,
all right, I've been moving. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah, those work great. So put in some extra time to clean the item up. Take good pictures, and not on the floor or on the bed with a floral print bedspread. It should be on a clean white background, and that's easy to do. You can go to, you know, Big Lots or Michael's or 99-cent store or whatever and buy a white poster board. And you buy 3 pieces of white poster board and tape them together so it's make a 3-sided thing that'll stand up by itself, and a white base, and put your item on that and learn how to use your camera and take nice pictures. If you can shoot pictures outdoors, that's another thing. I'm going to show you some pictures that I shot outdoors. And these are awesome. So this is a bunch of, I'm going to share the screen with you. This is a bunch of hammered aluminum ware, mid-century stuff. There we go. That's a picture I shot outdoors in the daylight with a black background. And you can look at the detail I can get. And this is with a point and shoot camera. This is not a $2,000 Canon SLR. This is a $150, you know, whatever, Nikon point and shoot or whatever. If you learn how to use your tools, you can get some pretty awesome pictures, as you can see here.
Oh, hell. My camera that I had right as I was going full-time decided to die.
Yeah.
And I bought a $10 camera off of eBay, and it was enough to get me by till I could get this thing. This was a $350 camera. Yeah. I've been using this for years. It's still going.
Yeah, this is I'm using a Canon SX260, and I bought this from my inspection business. I was doing a lot of insurance inspections, and this had a 20x optical zoom on it because sometimes I couldn't get close to the house and I'd have to shoot from the street, get my pictures. I'm a property inspector. I was doing property inspection. So that's why I bought that, and then I started using it for this. Now I use I have a little a Sony that I use over here now that just sits on a tripod, and it's always set up because I have a little photo studio set up inside the office for when I shoot. But you can see, you can get good pictures with a point and shoot camera. And that's, I'm still using just a point and shoot camera. There's nothing wrong with it if you learn how to use the tool.
Yeah, there's a little function that helps you get in closer, it looks like a little flower.
Yeah, it's called macro. Yeah.
Move it over to that, and that's how you get really good pictures when you're up close to items.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to get that fine detail that you can only get with that.
Yeah. The problem with the macro a lot of times is that you have a tendency to shadow your object because you get too close with the camera, especially if you're trying to use super macro. You got to get crazy, use what's called a ring light around the lens and all that kind of stuff. But I stepped back and used the telephoto. But one of the main things I wanted to say about photographs is that cameras, point and shoot cameras, we also call them PHS or push here stupid camera, because you don't have to do anything. You just put it on automatic and shoot. Well, shooting automatic is fine for pictures of your cat and your kids at the soccer game and things like that, because that's what the camera is designed to do, and that's what the standard settings are, or the automatic settings. And an average is, the old saying is, average is the best of the worst and the worst of the best. So it's really not very good for anything in particular, but it sort of does the job. So to shoot product photography, that's a whole different demand. And I'm using the same camera you'd take pictures of your kid's soccer game with to take these kind of pictures.
Yeah.
And you can see that you can see the little scratches on the handle and things like that. I mean, the detail is there, and that wasn't hard to do. I didn't do anything special post-processing to get that to show up. It's just a matter of learning how to shoot. The only thing I did with these is crop them.
Yep.
And so there is a setting on most cameras. If it's not a $20 camera, a piece of crap camera, it'll have a setting called AV or aperture priority, and you set it to that, and you get into your camera settings and figure out how to adjust your white balance, and you push the white balance a little farther than it normally would. In other words, we call it overexposing by a third or a half a stop in camera jargon, but that blows out the white background and makes your image pop up like this. So you can see by doing that kind of stuff, you can get some pretty awesome pictures.
Yeah. Tidwell, there's so many offers on Amazon that say no remote or no whatever against policy. Yes, it is against.
Yes, they are.
So many people try to sell VCRs without remote. That is against policy. I've tried to get with Amazon. I've called them up just for that, and it depends on what Amazon rep you're talking to. They say different things. Some say, yes, you can list it without the remote. No, you can't list it without the remote. Don't play games. List it with the remote. You can get more money out of it, especially if you take pictures of it with the remote.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's a benefit to you when they do that, because that just elevates your listing when you have the remote. It makes yours much better. If they're selling their XYZ VCR for $50 because it doesn't have a remote, you could sell yours for $80 because it does.
Yep. My Panasonic Omnivisions, on the low end, I've got one listed with remote for $90. But they usually sell, depends on the model number, but half the time they'll sell for like $130. So get the remote, get the 3-way cord that needs to go with the VCR.
Yeah, and the cords.
$130.
Send the damn cords.
Yep.
If it's a DVD player or a Blu-ray or something like that has HDMI out,
yep,
and an HDMI cord. I buy HDMI cords half a dozen at a time, and they're really nice ones. Let me grab it.
Yeah, because they're super cheap. Cords in Goodwill will come basically like this, and I only paid $1 for this. It's like I've got a container right here just in case I'm short of any cords. I try to have a couple of everything. Yeah. I actually need to get more because this is all I've got.
Yeah, those are the component cords with the red, yellow, and white.
Yep.
That's called component. And this is the HDMI cord. And this is really nice fancy red ends, and they're braided. Everything else, that these things cost me $2 a piece when I buy 10 at a time. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fancy component cable, yeah.
Yeah.
But so this stuff is not expensive, and it makes your listing so much better because you have everything. And they'll bitch if there's not, you know, they pull it out of the box, they're all excited about it. I got our new DVR, we're gonna play this, yada yada, and they can't do it because they don't have any cords. Now they got to go try to track down cords. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always send batteries with stuff. You know, and if it's like if I send a cassette recorder, I buy blank media all the time, and I always have a few spare orphans sitting around of wrapped cassettes or wrapped micro cassettes. And here's a Sony DVC wrapped, still brand new. I save these that I buy at garage sales and stuff like that in bulk. If I have enough of them, I'll lot them out in packs of 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever, you know. But I always have a few orphans of just singles. I just include that. So if I'm selling a cassette player, I send a brand new cassette with it. If it takes batteries, I send a brand new first set of batteries. Batteries are not hard to come by. I mean, here's 100 batteries. Here's 100 AA's. You know, sitting right here on my desk. Just for that reason.
Tidwell asks, how about the instructions? Do you have to have the original instructions? I personally do not send instructions with my VCRs because, well, it's a VCR. Basically, everybody knows how to do it. If you want to send in instructions, Google it. There's actually a couple different websites that have instructions for everything. Let me see. I know there's a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Usually you start with the manufacturer's website.
Manualslib.com.
Right. There's the alternate ones, but there's also the manufacturer's website's the first place to start. When anything like a camera, because oftentimes I buy cameras and stuff that don't have the manuals with them. It'll be the camera, so I'll put the cords and stuff together. And I do sell cameras without memory cards, but I also scavenge memory cards out of cameras. So what I do is I go get the manual, download it as a PDF, and burn it on a disk and put it in a slim case and include it.
Panasonic, nice.
So in other words, it's called, yeah, this is a Panasonic video, not a Hi8, it's this VHS-C camera that I've got here. So I've already got the instructions burnt onto a disk as a PDF. So they can, print them out if they want. Let them spend 60 pages of their paper and their ink. I'm not going to do it. Much easier to send it electronically.
One that I came across not too long ago that it had 240 pages of instructions, and I was like, I am not printing off a book.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's the same instructions in 6 different languages. I have actually taken those books when I did have the book, and I wanted to send it, it was an old used item or something like that. I've actually taken the book and just razored it out. I just took out the English section and stapled it together and sent that. You don't need French, Italian, German, Spanish, Portuguese, and Thai. If you do, call me. I'll send it to you.
You want to send the instructions when you sell it on eBay. If it helps your listings, that's cool. Personally, I don't even do that with eBay.
Yeah. The eBay, sometimes there's really a trade-off between how much skin you get in the game versus what you're going to get paid for it. On Amazon, I'll put more skin in the game because I'm getting more money, and I make a lot more money. On eBay, I get less money, and I'm less willing to spend the time. I'm not going to spend 2 hours prepping an item that I'm going to make $10 on.
Yeah.
I will spend 2 hours prepping an item I'm going to make $100 on. So that's your call. But ultimately, if you want to be successful, is to make your listing shine above everybody else's. So yeah, there's a lot of people that sell a lot of crap with missing parts and broken this and scratched up lenses and all this kind of crap, but it still works great. It's awesome, Like somebody sold me a PSP the other day. He wanted to sell me a PSP for $50. I said, oh, okay, I can sell it for $125 or so. So because it had some games and stuff with it. So I get there and I look at it. It's missing a button. The screen is cracked. I said, nah, I don't want it. It's broken. I can't sell it. I'm not buying it for me. I'm buying it to resell. And so eventually he was hard up for money. I eventually got that and 8 games, the PSP, a case, and 8 games, and the charger, and the cords, and everything for $30. So I said, okay, I can work with that. And I just sent all the PSP games in. I'll like 3 times the $30 on just the games, and I'll play with the PSP.
Sometimes you feel bad for ripping some of those people off when they're hard up, but
it's just negotiating, you know. It's just that. It's just like I wasn't ready to walk away from the deal. I said, no, I can't really justify it. You know, I'm not buying it for me. He said, it still works great. As I believe you, sorry, because it fired up, it worked. There was a game in it. We played it. It was like, yeah, it works awesome. And there's a little tiny crack, but I buy these things. I play with them. It's kind of like I can have a second childhood, and I can have all those really cool toys that I couldn't afford when I was a kid. I can have them now and play with them until I'm bored, and then sell them for more than I paid for them. I said, that's a win-win, man. So that's what I do. That's like the Xbox 360. And I just bought a Wii. I'll set that up and play with all the different games and tennis and golf and all that kind of crap, and play with the balance board and see what it is and get a feel for it. It's a learning experience for me to learn more about the system and how it works. And then I'll turn around and sell that whole thing for a whole lot more than I paid for it.
Yeah. William Porter. OG Picker, your voice reminds me of Tommy Chong. I've been listening in the background, and I'm waiting for you to start talking about Mary.
Of Tommy who?
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong. No idea.
I have no idea who that is.
Chong.
Come on!
Are you talking like Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong? That's Cheech and Chong? Okay.
Yeah, I'd never hear the name by itself. Tommy Chong.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong. Yeah, well, I don't know. It is what it is. I am broadcast trained. I was broadcasting and journalism major in college. So, But that was like history where they still wrote on rocks.
I was computer programming back when it was Windows 95.
Yeah. God, I remember my wife she was waiting to start some particular thing, some kind of course, some training course. Oh, she was waiting to take a training course at Fortran, which is what they programmed the big IBM mainframes with. And so while she was waiting, she took a key punch course on how to do the 80-column IBM punch cards.
Wow.
That's some old shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mainly learned how to work a computer on Windows 3.0, 3.1.
Yeah, that's what I started with on a IBM AT or XT. AT first, then XT.
Originally, I learned how to work a computer on the Commodore 64.
Mm-hmm.
I feel old now.
I just turned down. I actually probably should have taken them, but at a estate sale, and the guy was asking $100 for the pair of them, and he came down to 50 for both of them. I probably should have just jumped on it and bought them. One was a Trash 80, TRS 80, Tandy Radio Shack TRS 80. Call them a Trash 80 back then. That was one of the early computers that people started with. Yeah. And there was a Tandy color computer, essentially almost new in the box.
Wow.
But I couldn't get enough of a signal to do any research on it to find out would I be able to flip those forward. I was afraid, but not today. That was several weeks ago, and I wasn't flush at the time. Now I'm a little better position cash flow wise. I probably would have just bought those because I know I could have gotten my money out of them. But the Trash 80 he had gone in and added a hokey ass switch inline on the back and things like that. So it wasn't pristine original. So that really devalued it a lot. But that Tandy color computer might have been a home run. Might have been a home run.
But when I got my first computer in 1977, programmed it in BASIC. Took hours for a simple program. Yeah.
Yeah, write out your program, record it on a cassette tape, and play it into the machine. Yeah, I started with an Apple IIc, one of those single things that with a floppy drive. The old school floppy drives too, not the. Well, it was the smaller ones. It wasn't the big ones. I don't think. I don't remember. I'm sure. I think it was the smaller hard floppies, not the big ones.
That's a noisy kitty too.
I actually still have drive for the somewhere in my junk. I have a 5.5-inch floppy drive.
Wow.
I don't know if there's any controller that will run it anymore, but
I'm leery about disk drives just because I'm not sure how to test them.
Yeah.
I don't want to get one and then discover that it's junk.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That kind of stuff, you just put it out as for the nostalgia value. Would just say, you know, untested, unknown, looks good, powers up, because I can power it up. You know, I have an adapter that I can that has power supply. I have an adapter that has all the different headers for different kinds of drives, so that I can plug in a bare bones drive on my desktop and plug it into the computer and make it run. And that's how it goes drives back and forth and stuff. And so I have stuff that will run floppies and things like that. So I can power it up, and when it lights up and runs, and I know, you know, it won't read because I don't have anything to get it to read with. I don't have a disk to put in it, you know. But I can tell if it at least powers up and it doesn't smoke, probably good.
Yeah.
Those are pretty bulletproof. There's really not much to go wrong with them.
Barn junkie. Sounds like the Siamese cat meow.
No, that is a Bengal, actually.
Ah.
I don't know if he just came in. Yeah, he's sitting on the floor behind me. Come here, Nitro. Come on, buddy. Come say hi. Come on. Come on. All right, come on, you. Sit down there and yell. You have to be on screen then. This is Nitro.
Hi, Nitro.
Hello, Nitro.
Hi.
Pretty kitty.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
okay.
an old boy. He's about 12 years old.
Like, okay, I looked. I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, see ya. Now back to the lap. He is noisy. He has this nasty habit at 3 o'clock in the morning going out in the hallway. He sleeps on the bed with me, but goes out in the hallway at 3 o'clock in the morning, decides he has to pee, and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Wow!" It's like, oh, wow. The neighbors can hear him, you know. He's got a really loud voice. A lot of my gamer friends know about, oh, there's Nitro, because he'll be yelling in the background. When I used to game online, using TeamSpeak and
There we go.
Ventrilo.
There's Sif.
Yeah, sitting over there,
Not.
kicking it. Yeah. I have another one too. I have a little six-toed cat. Looks like a big.
Oh, you got a 6-toed cat. Wow. That's nice.
LA City Animal Services. She was a clerk there, and she was fostering a couple of kittens one time, and she brought them home, and one of them was just pretty run-of-the-mill gray and white cat, but then this other little striped guy who's got stripes, even more stripes than this guy, gray and black, and he had 6 toes on his front feet, and he was just really cool. He had a great personality and really outgoing and stuff like that. So I decided, I like that one. Can we keep him? Yeah, I guess so. So Nitro is not real.
Yeah, 6-toed cats are considered lucky cats.
Yeah. So he's a pretty cool cat. He's probably outside running around someplace. I probably need to bring him in. He's been out running around today. But we have to keep these guys separated because Nitro likes to attack him. There's a famous story. We had gotten another little female Bengal from the shelter, and she was here playing around on my desk one day. I was playing World of Warcraft, and I'm online on TeamSpeak or Ventrilo or whatever, and talking to my friends and everything else. I'm sitting here, and Nitro comes over the door. I heard him come over the door behind me. I have a half door in my office. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, but there's the top half is open. The bottom half's got like a Dutch door on it, you know, and so it keeps the dogs from wandering in here and stealing stuff. And I heard him come over the door. Kaboom! Heard him hit the floor. I didn't think about it. All of a sudden, up the back of my chair, over my back, and on the middle of the desk, cat fight right in the middle of my desk, in the middle of a World of Warcraft game. Whoa! There's cat fur flying everywhere, and I'm grabbing cats and trying to hold them out of the way. Get out of here! So he's not real hep on having other cats around. Wow, that's an awesome piece. I got to put those back up again.
All right. Well, I normally try to keep the show at an hour, and we are about to break 2 hours. So I think good.
Well, that's what happens when you have me on. I'm very talkative.
No worries. I know we gave a lot of good information, people, because there's people who are saying, "Oh my God, thank you for that info." So, all right. So that is all for this month, because I'm not going to be doing like a weekly or every other couple shows a week. Just like once a month. There's enough going on around. So, all right, don't forget, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.